Today we're going to talk about CMA. So for CMA appraisals, normally there are 4 ways of doing appraisal. Number 1 is what we call CMA. It's called comparable market analysis. And number 2 is based on investment return. And number 3, based on the best use of the property. And number 4 is based on replacement cost. So we're going to talk about CMA first. So CMA is what we use daily for residential transactions. So how do you tell a property is worth $1 million or a property is worth 1.2 million? Why they price it that way? You have to understand. Because when you do a CMA in front of a seller or a buyer, that's how you convince them to sell or to buy at this price. Because you're educating your client to understand the market. So first, you have to understand the market, okay? So CMA, number 1, you have to find out active listings, what is comparable in the market. So all the active listings, they are your competition, okay? Number 2, expired. What kind of listing expired? The price doesn't work, they go expire, right? Terminated and cancel are the same. So the price doesn't work, so they have to cancel and terminate. Sold are the most important, okay? Because everything sold is the market price. So if this house is sold for 1 million, then the market price is at 1 million at this moment. So you have to find out how much was sold compared to other properties. And also market trend is very important. Because market trend is telling you the next sold is going to be higher or lower. So if the market trend goes upwards, right? So this one sold for 1 million, you know the next one's probably going to sell higher. So you have to estimate the sold price for the future. If the trend is going down, then you have to estimate the next sold will be less. So this sold million, the next one probably 950,000. You have to check how fast is the trend going. How fast is going up, how fast is it going down. So you have to estimate, okay? So for the market trend, you have to show people the neighborhood average days on the market, how long it's been on the market, average sold price, new listing, monthly sold, inventories, and also active sold ratio. You have to understand those terms so you are able to explain this to the buyer and seller. And last one, BC assessment. You have to educate what is BC assessment. A lot of people base their knowledge on BC assessment, but BC assessment is for property tax purpose only. It's not for the purpose of determining market price, because the property assessment you see today is from last year, June, July. Okay, it's not current. So this BC assessment is not an indicator. So first, we're going to talk about market trend. Where are you at this trend? So you know, trend is going up and down, right? So you have to be able to tell, but don't tell the client where are you in the trend. You ask the client to tell you where they think the market is. Is it in a going up market or is it going down market? So asking question is better than telling them the answer. Okay? So when they tell you, that means they pursue themselves, right? So if you tell them, they may not listen. If they tell themselves, they will agree to it, right? So ask them, where do you think the market trend is for today's market? Buyer's market, seller's market, or balanced market, okay? Up or down market? Is it fast or slow? You have to ask them those questions. So here is a graph of a trend, okay? So normally when you post your listing on the market, for the first 2 weeks, the most people will see this listing. So if you price your listing very, very high, everybody saw it, and later on, there will be less and less people recognize your listing. Because why do people cancel a listing and relist it? The reason is when you relist or change price, a list of emails will be sent to their client and the agents for those automatic email setup. So for the first 2 weeks, everybody wants to see the new listing. So if you missed the first 2 weeks model, then later on you'll have to cancel the listing and relist it to get more exposure. Okay, so if the market goes up, it's a fast market. If the market goes down, it's called a down market. And then when it goes flat, it's called a slow or down market, right? So you have to explain to your client what are the market is. What is the market right now? So when you negotiated with the seller, so you have to tell them, hey, look, the pricing strategy is like a pyramid, okay? If you price it higher, your buyer client will be less, right? If you price it lower, there will be a bigger pool of buyers. So where do you want to be? Yeah, of course. If the market price is right here, are you going to price it above the market or below the market? Of course, you want to price it below the market, right? To get more people to see your listing. So if today's market is going up, probably your strategy will be reversed. You'll be priced a little bit higher because the market is going up, right? If today's market is going down, guess what happens? If you price it above the market price, then you'll be chasing the market all the time. You'll never get sold, right? You have to be at least at market value or below market value because the market is going down, but you don't know how fast it's going down, right? If it's really fast, you price it at market today, and tomorrow is not the market price anymore, and you're starting to chase the market, right? So you have to price your market at the proper rate. So this is the market trend. You can find this one from rebgb.ca from the stats. You can get most updated stats from our websites. So this one is Point Grey area, okay? This one is the average price for Point Grey. So when you sell with client, you tell them, look at the trend. Where are we right now? Are we going up or are we going down? If we're going down, how do we price our listing? So these are the information that you have to provide in a CMA to educate your client. So they have to understand the big picture here. So if they think, oh, today's market price, everybody sold for 1 million, I'm going to price it for 1.2 million. No, because it's going down, right? You cannot do that. If you do that, you'll be chasing the market. You never get sold. Summer season. And then you have to tell them what is the best season to sell. So this is an average listing contract days. Means days on the market. Okay? So look at summertime. Every time summertime, listings, they drop, right? That means it takes less time for the listing to get sold. Every summer, those are the best times. So you have to convince them we cannot miss, this is called window of opportunity. We cannot miss this window. If we miss it, then you know what? We probably have to wait until next year, beginning of next year, right? Hot seller's market, and this is the cold seller's market. And two, between this part is called balanced market. So anything above 2, it's really, really hot. And anything below 0.08 is the buyer's market. So in between is called balanced market. So if it's in the balanced market, then buyer and seller are pretty much the same. But if they're in the hot market, that means there will be multiple offers, price will go up. If it's in the low market for long time of period, for a few months, let's say for 6 months, continuing like that, the price will drop. Okay, so you have to be able to tell and explain to your client what is this mean, right? So in today's market, are we in a seller's market or buyer's market or in a balanced market? Although this one seems going up this part, but you have to explain to them, look at this. This is a flat, it's not up, right? It's up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a flat market. This one is flat. And it's probably around balanced market. It's not very hot, it's not very cold, but it's more towards the buyer market. So they have to understand the market is not very good for seller, so you cannot price it very, very high. So this one is called sales. Okay, how many sales in the neighborhood? You can also find out the number. So this is more like 2017, mid of 2017, and this one is about the same, right? So you have to be able to tell over here, it's about 10 listings. It says 10 listings a month. So if there are like 50 listings in the market. If you get 10 listings sold per month, that's pretty good. It's actually 20%, right? But if you get 100 listings in the market and you only get 10 listings sold, that's only 10%. So you have to tell the client how fast are the market moving. So this is 10 listings a month. This is how fast, okay? So if you want to catch the market, you have to explain to them the market is moving very fast, then we'll have to follow the market, change the price. If the market is moving very slow, you have to price it very low to attract people to look at it. And this one is the inventory. So we compare the listing, right? Last time we said 10 sold, and we have 81 listings in the market, still in the market. So that means your competition are 81. So every month there are about 10 listings sold, but there are 80 listings on the market. So how do you want to price your property, right? How do you do the appraisal? What is the market? The market must be the average sold, right? So are we going to price it above the average sold or below the average sold? If you want to get it sold, at least price at least same as average sold or below, right? Because there are so many listings on the market. And next, average percentage of original price. This is the 100% line, which means the asking price. This is the asking price. So everything sold after 2016, mid 2016, guess what? Everything sold below asking price. And by probably about 5 to 10% below asking during that period. So before that, it's hot market, right? It's multiple offer. That's why it's sold above asking price. So from this graph, the seller will be able to tell that they cannot get a crazy price anymore. They have to understand the market. So comparable items, you have to know what to compare, right? There are age of the property, lot size, home size, bedrooms, washrooms, rental suites, renovation conditions, public transportation, school catchment, shopping convenience. There are so many things that you have to compare and analysis to establish the value of this property. There are so many things you have to look at and compare, right? Why this house sell better? Because the school catchment may be good. Why they buy this house? Maybe it's close to shopping mall, right? So you have to consider all those factors. And then we pull all the record. After we pull the record, then you will know how much the listing price are in the market for the comparable similar property, okay? And then you have to also pull the sold price. So if you see the red arrow down, that means the sold price went down. Case study. So this is a MLS record. listed for 540, 549, and sold it for 525. And exposure is northeast, square foot, 1,000 square foot. So basically it's sold for 525 per square foot, if you calculate, right? So the record, the trend, make adjustment and pricing strategy. Then you select those similar sold. 1,000 square foot times the higher portion, the per square foot, is about 715, right? The lower portion is about $645 per square foot. So the market price is in between here. At that time, 2017 was the hot market for condo. So the condo was actually going up, right? So you have to estimate how much can you sell it for maximum price. So what you do is you go to your Paragon and set up your criteria. So sold, and for area neighborhood, and for apartment building, and over here, a lot of people don't know how to use this one. Very convenient. This one is called features, okay? So must have and must not have. So if you put here, we're looking for concrete condos. You can put here, search for wood, and then you select frame. So after this, they will eliminate most wood frame condos. You won't see that in your search. So they will get rid of that. And if you're searching for wood, you just type in concrete. And then all the wood would show up, concrete will be eliminated. Okay? So this one is very convenient. And then you type in the square footage, a range. Between that range and between that age. So those are your comparables. So you can see on the top right, there are only 4 listings. So you have to eliminate the ones that are not similar to your target. So after that, you check here. The highest sold is 819. Lowest sold is 692. And this is the average, 766 average. And median price means the middle one. For example, the highest one, the second highest one, third highest one, there are total 4, right? So they will pick the middle one. It's not average, it's whatever that's in the middle. So you take those numbers and show it to your client. Here's the range, how much it sold for. And then you can, based on that, to estimate your price and locations. So over there is 10-year-old, 5-year-old, and over there is a wooden structure. Over there is an older, about 10, 15 years old concrete. So you have to show them the locations as well. Is your location better or worse than those locations? And then show him this. This is the price index and average listing contract days. So you see condo at that time, it's kind of hot, right? It sells a lot faster.